Mothers are heroes. Mothers are courageous.
They're tough. They are caring.
To me, motherhood means an act of selfless love.
They are superstars.
At Building Futures, our mission is to build communities with underserved individuals and families across Alameda County, to provide them with safe and supportive housing, free from homelessness and domestic violence. And at the heart of any community, there will be mothers.
Building Futures was founded by a group of San Leandro community members, and they really were seeing the emerging issue of homelessness for families. And the very first families that the San Leandro shelter served was a grandmother and her grandchild. And so I think ever since then, we've developed programs for both mothers and children.
Building Futures' focus on the crossroads of domestic violence and homelessness is no coincidence. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states that among mothers and children who are homeless, more than 80% of them had previously experienced domestic violence.
The truth is that domestic violence crosses lines of race, class, gender, ethnicity, and it is largely underreported because it is an issue that is seen mostly as something that is embarrassing to talk about. And those women who are in our shelters, they have fled because there are no other options.
And when they come, they're in a very, very vulnerable state, but they're also in a very sad state because this is not what they had planned for their kids.
Alma is an example of a mother who found herself in need of Building Futures services. Without any family nearby to support her and no ability to speak English, Alma and her then 5-month-old daughter Carolina sought refuge with Building Futures.
Me sentía desesperada, muy triste, pero entendía de que iba a ser era la mejor opción para mí, ¿no?
Alma lived with her daughter at the Midway shelter for nearly 2 years. During that time, Alma worked hard to find a job and even affordable housing, despite her challenges. And the shelter provided the love and support she needed for her and her daughter to achieve their success.
Para mí fue algo muy bonito encontrar. Adentro de ese lugar encontré personas maravillosas, tanto como las trabajadoras, como las compañeras. Mi niña fue sus primeras etapas. Ella ahí caminó, ella lo aprendió todo ahí. Entonces para mí es algo bonito, porque fue su hogar de ella.
5 out of every 10 people residing in Building Futures shelters are children. And among the many services that are offered, the children's programming is the one that focuses solely on the needs of our youngest residents.
We really try with our children's program to provide a space where children can be children. And in that moment, they don't need to worry about where they're going to sleep or what they're going to eat. They get a chance to read a book, play, in a space where staff understand what they've gone through.
While many of our residents find safety and solace in our shelters, the ultimate goal for Building Futures is still to get the people we serve into permanent housing, just as we did with Alma and Carolina. But in the Bay Area, losing your home due to harsh economic conditions can be a common occurrence.
We went through foreclosure and lost our house. We all just amazingly fit into my Toyota Camry and slept in it.
Melsha, along with her 2 sons, lived in her car for nearly 5 months, constantly moving and looking for safe places to park overnight. Finding basic amenities like bathrooms and a place to wash their clothes, particularly during a pandemic, was a challenge. When she finally found Building Futures, it was her first time ever living in a shelter.
When you're homeless, it seems like forever, but we still kept a job, homeless or not, we kept our job. Jay is my youngest. He didn't ever complain. He never has complained about anything. He just rolled with it.
During Melsha's time at the shelter, Building Futures not only provided her with structure and practical life skills, but also helped her find a supportive community that allowed her to heal and find forgiveness for herself.
I always remind them that, hey, we're on your team, you're quarterbacking this. We're just like the playmaker to help support you being successful.
She's assisted in me getting my credit back on track. I would say Miss Sonia became like my best friend.
Now Melsha is permanently housed and has a stable job, and Jay is an honor roll student.
I would say right now it's indescribable. the joy that we felt coming in. Just having your own keys, the program with Building Futures, it has been a blessing to me.
But with rents in the Bay Area skyrocketing and the price of housing becoming unaffordable for many of our residents, even mothers who earn an income can find themselves without a place to call home.
My income wasn't enough to be able to just get a place on my own, even though I was working and stuff, but it was just still not enough to afford the cost of living here in California.
When Kamisha found Building Futures, she had difficulty finding a job and stable housing for herself and her 2 children. But Kamisha never gave up. Even when the first apartment she found through Building Futures was sold out from under her, and she became homeless for a second time, she partnered again with Building Futures to find another apartment. And as luck would have it, a unit became available in the neighborhood she went to high school in.
Well, they have provided me with housing that I can be able to have a roof over my head, to have structure for my kids, water to take a bath, and just heat, air conditioning, things like that. It's important. It made my life a whole lot better.
Kamisha's story is the perfect example of what Building Futures believes: that everyone deserves a first, second, or even 100 chances at creating a better life for themselves, no matter the circumstance. And we will be there to support them every step of the way.
They want to see you do better, and I think that, yeah, of course, the helping with the rent and stuff, but they care.
We want to make sure that when these moms leave our shelters, not only have they felt the love that they received when they was here, but they're able to leave here with that love, to continue to love on themselves, continue to love on their children, and to just really be excited about life again.
I love you. I love you so much.
I love my baby.